welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Jessie and I'm going to be your yoga teacher for today. So today I'm going to take you through a series of poses that I do on a regular basis whenever I feel a headache coming on or if I have a full-on headache, because there's some really effective yoga poses that can release tension through the head, neck, and shoulders and can really help with certain types of headaches. So settling into your easy seat, so just coming to cross-legged position, closing off the eyes and placing the hands on the knees, just letting the arms rest and letting the shoulders start to sink down your spine. So just letting everything be heavy, feeling into your roots, where you're grounding down into the floor. Feeling your two hip bones, you can wiggle a little bit side to side to help feel that connection. And starting to sit up tall, making sure to keep those shoulders in the back and down position that they were in. Sitting up so that the crown of the head rises up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, slightly relaxing, just letting everything go a bit slack, as you continue to sit up straight. So trying to breathe deeply, filling up the chest and the belly, broadening through the collarbones, expanding through the stomach, and then exhaling, feeling the navel pull in towards the spine as you release all of the air in your body. So the first series of stretches that we'll do to relieve some of that headache pain is to take your chin down towards your chest, keeping the shoulders in that back and down position. So you're just dipping the head, stretching out all the way down the back of the neck. And you can take your hands interlaced and just place them on the back of the head, adding a bit of pressure. You're not pulling your head down here with the hands, you're just allowing that extra weight to increase gravity's effect. So again, if your arms are up especially, you want to check in with your shoulders that they're not jumping up towards your ears and that your spine is still pretty straight and it's just the head and neck that are bowing forward here. Releasing the hands from the back of the head and gently lifting the head back up into a neutral position. So from here, second stretch will be the opposite, which will be to take the gaze up towards the ceiling. So you want to do that nice and gently and slowly. You'll start to follow an imaginary line in front of you, tracing that line with your nose all the way up as far as it is comfortable to go. So if your neck is really tight, especially down the front and into the chest, you might not be able to tip your head back super far. If it's comfortable to just let your head go to gravity and really let it relax backwards, then that's fine too, but you don't want to force anything. That's just asking for more injuries rather than any kind of a healing. So again, just watching the shoulders aren't rounding up and forward, that they're staying back and down. And then releasing the head back up into a neutral position. Now we'll take the head from side to side. So you'll take your ear towards your shoulder. I'm going to start on the right hand side. So taking right ear to right shoulder. The left side of the neck is going to start to stretch out. So the first thing you can do here is to look down towards your hip, and then up towards the ceiling, and then back down. So we'll just repeat that a couple of times, feeling how moving the head slowly changes where that sensation of the stretch is in your neck. Last time to look up. And then ear back down to shoulder. Are you feeling that side of your neck starting to really open up? I know I am. We'll do one more extra stretch here to just go a little deeper into this side. You can take your right hand and just bring it up to the side of the head just like we did in the first stretch, just to add that little extra bit of weight. So we're not pulling, yanking down on the head, we're just really gently placing the hand there and just letting it sit. Your other hand, your left hand in this case, is going to reach out towards the floor. So fingertips are going to extend out maybe about 2 to 3 inches off of the floor. And as you extend out through the arm and extend out through your fingers, reach through your fingers, that's the word I was looking for. You'll really feel a sensation go right down your neck, into your shoulder, all the way down the arm and into your hand, which is pretty cool. Let's release that side. That was a nice long stretch for the left side. You just kind of nod your head a little bit or take some really small circles with the crown of the head just to release. So you don't want to be making like really wide, big circles with your neck. If you're making full circles, you should make them pretty small. Left ear to left shoulder now, so we'll do the other side, same thing. So for the first moment, we're just going to let the neck stretch in that neutral ear to shoulder position. And then when you feel ready to start to do that gentle movement, you're going to look down towards your hip and then up towards the ceiling. So if you're getting any little cracks or pops or even little creaking noises, that's pretty normal as long as it's not coming with any sort of sharp, sudden pains. If you feel anything that you know isn't right, then just discontinue that particular stretch. So as we make our way down to that neutral position again, ear to shoulder, we're going to take the left hand and add it just above the ear on the side of the head, and you'll just let the hand's weight add to the stretch. So not yanking, not pulling. Just giving that a little moment to sink in. And then we'll start to reach the right hand down towards the floor. So again, about a couple of inches off of the floor, reaching out through the fingertips, extending along through the arm. And you'll feel that energetic sensation. It's not even really a stretch per se, it's just this energy moving through the arm. From that stretch, I suppose we're stretching maybe through some nerves, if that's possible. I'm not an expert on the nervous system. Let's take one more breath and then we'll end this stretch. So releasing the hands back to the legs and then bringing the head up to neutral. So again, you can take some small circles with the crown of the head. So you're just tracing, like say you have a halo above your head, right? A little halo of light, like an angel, like the angel that you are. And you're just gonna go around that halo about 4 times in each direction with your head. So little circles. Now we'll do some bigger half circles with the neck. So you can bring your neck back down, right ear to right shoulder, and you're gonna start to work through a half circle coming down. And you know what, actually, while your head is down, you can change the cross of your legs here. And then continue on your merry way with your half circles. So from side to side, getting out any kinks that are there. Taking it slow. There's no rush through this particular movement. It's better to take it slow and easy. So we're working out a lot of tension from the neck and shoulders with all of these particular movements. And then we're going to get down deeper into the shoulders because, of course, all these areas of our body are interrelated with each other. So when one is tight, it pulls onto the next area, and that area gets tight, and then before you know it, you have a massive tension headache. So just bringing your head back up to neutral now will release those circles. Let's take a little side bend here. So reaching your right hand down towards the right side, left hand's gonna reach up and over. So you might just keep your neck in a neutral position here, but if it's feeling okay, and you can turn your head and look up towards the ceiling. And then release that side, reach both arms up, look up, and then exhale down towards the left-hand side. Same movement here. So we're gonna move on to all fours now. So coming back up to neutral, you just shift onto hands and knees. Getting into that square positioning, knees right below hips, hands right below shoulders. And we'll take a couple of cat-cows. So if you're familiar with cat-cow, that's awesome. You can go right ahead, but I'll fill you in case you're not familiar. So you'll inhale, drop your belly down, tilt your pelvis back, and then bring your chest forward with this big expansion on the inhale. And then as you exhale, you're gonna round up through the belly, so sending your spine nice and high. Navel pulls in as you exhale. So we're moving intuitively with the breath. So it makes sense to inhale, draw in air as we're expanding down through the belly, making everything really large, filling up, and then a contraction as we exhale and lift, allowing the gaze to drop back towards the legs. So let's do one more nice deep cat-cow. I could spend 15 minutes on just cat-cow in my own personal yoga. I just love it. And I won't submit you guys to that. It would be a very boring yoga video. So we're going to do a thread the needle twist next. This is one of the absolute favorite poses for shoulders. So to do this one, we'll start with the left hand side, bringing your left hand out and then under, so sweeping it through below your chest and in between your arm and leg on the other side. You're going to lower down through your chest and shoulders, or shoulder I should say, just that left one, and you're going to try to lower it down all the way to the floor. So if your shoulder stays right about there and it won't come any lower, that's okay. If you have a block or a pillow, you can add that in so that you feel like you're resting it on the floor. You'll still get a stretch even if you're hovering though. Your other arm, your right arm, is going to sort of cross your left arm in a T shape. And then lastly, you want to check in with your hips. So I can feel my knees are a little bit further forward than I'd like them to be here. You want your knees still right underneath your hips. And then you want to check that your hips are square with each other. So there's going to be a tendency for the hip on the left side to want to follow the twist and kind of go a bit off kilter. So you'll just straighten your hips out so that your right and left ones are at the same height. Let's use that right hand to press the floor away, and we'll counter twist by taking the arm up towards the ceiling, really opening up through the chest before we end that movement and bring it back to the floor. So of course we'll do the same on the second side, taking your right hand now, reaching it out just from the shoulder. You don't have to reach way back for the ceiling just yet, and then you'll start to thread it through. So as you thread, you'll lower through the chest and the shoulder. So shoulder comes down first and the chest sort of rests onto the upper arm. Extending the left arm out. You'll check in then with your knees. Are they in a good position with your hips? And then are your hips still squared off? Taking a couple of deep breaths here as we want to spend about an equal amount of time on each side. Although through experience, you'll come to find that sometimes one side will feel really easy, like a total cakewalk, and then the next side will feel really hard, and you don't want to spend a lot of time in hard poses, but you can do it, and that is how you build resilience. It's just mind over matter. Your body will hold out even when your mind thinks that it wants to quit. Let's come on out of this stretch now, just pushing the floor away with that left hand, lifting up, and then dropping that hand back down. So come forward a little bit so my feet aren't on the hardwood. But we're going to extend out into puppy pose now. So again, you want your knees right under your hips, and then you'll start to walk your hands out and lower the chest down. So you get this deep back bend happening. Hips stay lifted. And then you just let the chest come down as low as it can, dropping through between the forearms. Nice deep breaths here. You can inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And then sweeping forward, coming to lie down in the belly. So we'll take a couple of lifts into Sphinx here, so you can move your feet and legs apart a little bit, and then you can inhale, lifting up through the chest as the sun comes out, and lift your gaze either directly ahead of you, or if you're quite lifted in your cobra, you might start to look up a little bit. Let's come down, inhale to lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, you can start to lower down about halfway and then push up onto all fours again here. So turning onto the back, and we're just going to do, I think, just one more stretch. So coming onto your back, you can take your arms out into a cactus shape here. If you have lots of space, you can extend your arms out straight to the sides. You just bring your knees in towards your chest and start to rock them side to side a little bit. So when the arms are in cactus, especially, you'll notice a really nice opening across the front of the chest and into the shoulders a little bit as well. So we're going to take our spinal twists here to finish off. Taking your, let's go right foot down. So left foot is going to stay tucked in the way it is towards the chest. So this isn't a totally standard supine twist. It'll be slightly modified. Take your hips, move them over just about an inch or two towards the left, and then we're going to take the right hand onto the left knee and start to help it gently drop towards the left hand side. That's the right hand side. I always have to make at least one mistake with right and left in every class I teach, whether it's online or in person. I have to make one. It's the rule. Inhaling and exhaling here, really trying to fill into the belly. So as you keep your shoulder planted down on the left hand side, twisting all the way through your spine. So we worked a lot with the upper spine and the neck. Now we're bringing our full spine into it. So if you want to stretch your head and neck one more time as well, you can turn your gaze over towards the left hand side. I'll just take a couple more breaths before we release this side and take the other side and then finish off. So let's release, gently bringing the gaze back to neutral and the legs back to neutral. Your hips will need to move over as well, back into the center of your mat. Just maybe use your hands to kind of check out where you are and if you're, needing to move over a little bit more. So left foot down, right foot in towards the chest now. Left hand is going to come to the right knee. You can move the hips over towards the right just a little bit, and then we're going to gently drop the legs over towards the left hand side, guiding with the left hand. And we'll start to breathe here. So as you're lowering, if you notice your shoulder lift off on the right hand side, then you need to just backtrack a little bit. Really need that shoulder to be down in order to initiate the stretch properly. Just breathing here for a couple of deep breaths, filling up the belly, filling up the chest. Maybe you want to turn your gaze over towards the right hand side now, just to complete that full twist through your whole spine. And then rolling back gently onto your back. You can again straighten out where you are on your mat, and we'll take one last pose. We'll do bridge pose, and then we will finish off. So for bridge, you're going to press down through your heels so your toes aren't doing any work there at all. You could even lift them off and just press the heels down. So lifting with the power of your legs and your glutes. Really lifting right up onto the shoulders. You can interlace your hands underneath of you if you would like to get a little deeper of a back bend yet. Making sure to keep your head in a nice neutral position here. And then roll from the top of the spine down, releasing the hands. And then making your way back down. Feet, or rather the knees, will come in towards the chest. Just give yourself a couple of rocks from side to side. Maybe 3 or 4 to each side, and then you can switch and start rocking back and forth until you come up to seated. So that's it for our headache yoga today. I've been having loads of headaches lately, and I don't really know why, but these particular poses have been helping me out so much, as well as using peppermint oil. So shout out to peppermint oil, peppermint essential oil. Just having a little bit on the back of your neck and on your temples can really, really help. So that's my Yoga for Headaches video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like it. Please subscribe for more videos. And if you could share this with your social network, I would be so, so, so grateful. And then we can get more people onto this yoga. So thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.